to my channel. I'm Tiffany, a retired librarian turned homeschool mom. And in this video, we're going to be looking at this book. So this is Kai and the Monkey King, part of, I believe, the Brownstone's Mythical collection by Todd Sianton and Flying Eye Books. So this is kind of an interesting story. So I will probably be covering at least parts of the story of the Monkey King, which is a Japanese, I believe it's Japanese legend. It's a Buddhist legend, more specifically, and is very long and very complex. But in this story, it uses the kind of opening of this family of Brownstones and the family vault and all this family. So in this story specifically, he is talking about a mother-daughter. So you have mother Wen and Kai, so a mother-daughter team who are going about collecting magical stories and protecting mythical creatures. So Kai is starting to get older. She's starting to get bored with what her mother is doing. And at some point, they get a message about a monster. And so her mother goes straight to the library and starts looking at things. And Kai starts getting bored. Her mother starts getting irritated. And then she banishes her daughter to the opposite side of the library. So then Kai finds this story of the tale of Sung Wong. I'm going to mispronounce this in the book. Wong Kong, the Monkey King. So she finds this scroll and she hears about the story of this Monkey King. Of this monkey who's a normal monkey, but he gets bored, so he decides not to do a couple of different things. So he becomes a skilled fighter. He fights off dragons. And then he goes up against the Jade Emperor. Basically, this is a shortened version of the Monkey King. And then he's banished inside a tree. Inside, specifically, the Buddha palm. So Kai decides to go and find the Monkey King. And she finds the Monkey King, and he's like, okay, sure. I can do whatever the heck I want. I'll help you. But first you have to get me out of here by going to get this staff. So she goes off and goes undersea and gets this staff. Remember, this is a little girl. So she gets the staff. She releases the Monkey King. The Monkey King wants to go back to what the heck he was doing, which was trying to gain immortality by eating a bunch of peaches in the Jade Emperor's garden that gives you, like, every time you eat a peach, 3,000 years. And he wants to eat as many peaches as he can to gain immortality. So she tries to bring him a bunch of peaches, but she gets attacked by a monster, and she finally gets back to the Monkey King, and she has one. He comes and defeats the monster, but she only has one peach, so he abandons her because how dare she? So she's alone again. So she goes back to the town. She sees the monster approaching her mother, and she goes to try to protect her mother. And her mother ends up shooting off fireworks to protect her child. So that's how she ends up being saved. And the girl runs to her mother. Her mother apologizes for yelling at her, and Kai apologizes for running off. And they give the book that Kai has originally found and given her to her mother, and the fireworks to the townspeople so they know how to defeat them. And they come back every year to watch the fireworks because they eat the peach and live for 3,000 years. So it is a very, very cute story. It's a good introduction to the story of the Monkey King, which is a well-known well-known legend. And I'm trying to think whether it's Chinese or it's Chinese. So it is the Chinese legend. It is very Buddha based. So it's a great children's book. You can definitely read it at night. I love the illustrations and just how it's also a mother-daughter story, which as a mother with a daughter, I'm attracted to mother-daughter stories. That is not why I grabbed this book. I was looking for, again, we're doing Asian History Month, and this looked cute. And it's a children's picture book. So it's very much almost designed as a graphic novel, though it is definitely a children's picture book. At least that's where it's placed in the library. It's probably on my put this on my to buy list. But it's a great introduction to this Chinese legend, as well as showing the relationship between mother and daughter. There isn't a whole lot of words, so this could be read at night. This is definitely geared toward the younger kids, so I'm gonna say my daughter might find it interesting. She's 5.5. But in fact, by the time you guys see this, she'll be even closer to 6, which is a frightening thought. But again, it definitely will appeal to elementary school kids just because of the illustrations and the tale and the rebelliousness of the little girl and how her, in the end, yes, she found the book and that's where her mother found the information. It's better for them to work as a team and it reunites mother and daughter. So it's a great mother and daughter tale, as well as a cautionary tale of you don't always trust monkeys who were trying to take over the world, which is essentially what the Monkey King is about. He's very, very arrogant. And that is true to the character in the original story. So, fantastic book, very, very fun, beautiful illustrations, great introduction to the legend of the Monkey King, and a great book to read to young kids if you're studying Asian history and particularly Asian mythology, which is like European mythology and folk tales. A lot of different countries with a lot of different tales. So, but this is great in the fact that this is a Chinese tale and it kind of modernizes it as making it a mother-daughter tale. So that is it for this review. If you like what you see, be sure to like and subscribe. Check out the rest of the channel. I am covering Asian history this month. This is May. I am filming this in February. In fact, it's the 13th. So I filmed this right at the same day evening I filmed Mulan. And yes, I am covering Mulan, the film, Mulan 2, the direct-to-video sequel, and the live action. I'm also looking into probably doing Raya and the Last Dragon as well. I will put the Pacific Islanders, particularly Moana and Moana 2 for a different time. I am covering Disney princesses this year, so I will find a place to put her so I could celebrate her rather than and be able to bring in Rhea, who's technically a Disney princess as well, and something I have absolutely no experience with whatsoever. So, again, Asian History Month. Check out the channel. I did cover Little Mermaid in April. I did the Snow Queen with Frozen. I have done Brave. I actually covered the Lion King rather than the Princess and the Frog because I'd already covered the Princess and the Frog. So I did African folk tales as well as Celtic folk tales and then the Norwegian folk tales. And next month I do believe I'm covering Cinderella again because there's a lot of Cinderella tales. There's just a lot. And I've already covered her in depth if you're interested in that. And I've done Beauty and the Beast as well, where I go in depth with the original tale. So, like and subscribe. Leave a positive comment if you have one. And I will hopefully see you next time. Thank you.